What's going on, y'all? This is Mike Brown, and I just wanted to welcome y'all to this week's episode of The Art of Letting Go. We got a really dope episode in store for you. But while I have your attention, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen, and also rate the podcast, leave a review, let people know what you think. Let me know what you think because I do read the comments. Also, if you would like to further support the show, you can go to www.theartoflettinggopodcast.com where you can find merch, the Patreon. You can also send in a question for me and the guests. Yo, what up? This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go. Today, I have two special guests in the building. You guys had me on your podcast, and the episode was so dope. I had to bring you here and introduce you to my audience and, let you guys show people who you are, your platform, and also just talk to you about podcasting. But do you guys mind introducing yourselves?
So I'm Noah Clipper. Crispin and I went to college together. That's where we met. It's kind of where our podcast has its beginning. I have a degree in accounting, a little bit boring. Do I regret it? Maybe a little bit, but it allows me to chase the things that I love. So for now, it's doing good. Welcome back, Crispin. But I love to work out. That's me for that's just about me. That wraps everything up. All right.
Yeah,
and then we got Crispin.
Don't regret it, man.
What are we doing?
Hi, y'all. Crispin Cutno. Resident nice guy, I guess is how I would describe myself. Huge fan of Mike Brown. Massive fan of Noah Clipper and his TikToks. Hopefully there are more TikToks on the way. We're actually putting out a edited full workout video that I put together and shot for Noah a little later this week. So yeah, excited to be here.
Very, very excited to put that out. Yeah. It feels a little weird being on the producing end of this and putting something out like that, but I'm excited to do it.
You know what's funny? That's pretty cool because when I met you guys through Zoom, I didn't know you were so buff.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a trending topic.
Hey man, that's good podcast promotion.
It definitely is. It brings traffic to the channel for sure. But I'll just say me outside of the gym versus that 2-hour window of pump that I have, two totally different people. I look and act just different. Yeah. My heart's racing. I'm pumped up, ready to just run through a brick fucking wall during one. And then, as you can see right now, I'm a little bit more calm, just a tad. But
yeah,
that's the rough thing about working out. I mean, you just look so normal the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing, but you know, I digress.
I know that Mike's been working out a lot. At least you said that was something you were getting a little bit more into as of late, huh? How's it going?
You know what, man? The last couple of weeks, I haven't, just because things have been so busy. But now that school is about to end, I'm working my way back into it. But yeah, I was going 5 times a week, just trying to be healthy, man. You know, that's all. How are you guys feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty tired, to be honest, man. I've been doing a lot today. These are my days off, but I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm taking a day off. Sometimes it just feels like a small break in between me doing more stuff for my job. So I'm still pretty tired, and I have tomorrow off, though, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. How are you feeling, Mike?
I'm feeling good. As it gets closer and closer to being done, I feel better about that. But also, it's been a little hard having to let the kids know that I'm leaving. I thought it'd be a lot easier to just be like, I'm leaving,
Yeah,
but,
and we were...
sometimes I feel their reactions for sure.
Yeah, we were having a conversation before this, but And I know that you brought it up a couple times, but you're going to be teaching podcasting, which is going to be amazing. So you're going to still get to see the kids.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, but it's just that because I've been in the community for about 3 years, so I've gotten to see some of these kids grow from like pre-K to first grade, and but it is what it is. I feel like this is the best lesson I could teach them, which is to follow your dreams.
Yeah.
I can just hear their little voices just squeaking away, and you're just tugging on the heartstrings over there. I feel for you, but it's exciting what you're doing, man. It's so exciting.
I appreciate that. The most asked question that I've gotten is, what am I doing next? And I've told them all. I've told them an artist, a rock star. Told them a couple of things, and because I don't really know if they understand what podcasting is. Like, some of them are so young, they don't really understand what that is. But it's cool to hear some of them say they want to be musicians and they want to be music teachers and YouTube influencers. So it's just like, oh well, this is the way to inspire them. Like, go be successful doing something else, and just show them that it can be
I'm
done.
going to be interested to see how all of the youths growing up nowadays, their perspective on work. I feel like it's shifted so much recently. We all have work from home, which, funny enough, Elon Musk, didn't he have an internal email leaked where he said work from home doesn't work? He's catching a lot of flack for that online, and I think it's wow. Deservedly so, because people have, I feel like, taken back a little bit of their lives from corporations. And I think that is an amazing thing. I love capitalism and all that, but you need to have a social life outside of work. You need to have a balance in your life. And I think that's just super, super important. And I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder what those kids are going to feel like about work in the future, because it seems like a lot of them have aspirations beyond the traditional workplace.
Most of them want to be social media influencers.
It's a great job.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's just cool to hear kids want to do something creative. Everybody kind of just pushes you into the traditional college route. But at the age they are now, they could already start working on some of those things. Like, if you want to be an influencer, you could already start doing that. And by the time they turn 18 or whatever, they've already created this brand and this following of people that followed them when they were 6 to 18. And I think it's really cool if some of their parents are pushing them in that direction.
Yeah. I mean, think about just developing a portfolio. Just developing a portfolio for that amount of time. Eventually, you're going to get good at it. Eventually, you're going to be a very talented person at whatever you do, as long as you do it for long enough. So I'm excited to see that. Who knows what the influencers will look like 30 years from now? It's going to be insane. You're going to be movie stars.
Yeah, and what they will be influencing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I brought you guys today. Yes. No, what were you saying?
Sorry. I think I'm lagging behind a little bit, and I'm just catching everybody at the end. But I was just gonna bring
good.
up. I wonder how, like, this age of social media and rising, or growing up in social media, how that's gonna affect a child's brain and their development, such as like their view towards themselves and reality. What do you think? How's that? Does there need to be a little bit more mental health awareness in that we teach them how to use social media so that they don't damage themselves? How do you think you should regulate that in a child?
That was kind of my first thought when you said that we should educate them on how to use it, because it can be destructive to somebody's life. But if you teach it as a tool, then it could be helpful.
I think a lot more kids are growing up with it as tools, rather than when Crispin and I, we kind of grew up with everything at the same time, everything's just coming out. And so it wasn't really as much tools as it was just fun and trying to see what you can do and can get away with on different websites, apps, different, So,
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep saying, but cut that back a little bit.
Nah, you good. You good. I feel like, and as I said, I wanted to talk to y'all about podcasting, but I feel it's important for people to hear how people naturally talk, cutting out so many ums and uhs and ahs. People naturally talk like that, But
Yeah, I think
how much editing do you guys do on your podcast? Do you just drop the raw episode, or do you edit some stuff out? Like, what are you guys doing with your podcast?
So I do all of our editing. Noah helps out a lot though, so which has been nice. But yeah,
Crispin does all the editing. I'm not going to take any credit there. He does it all. I do the reels and TikToks. Don't get it twisted. He does all the real work.
Thank you. Well, that's nice to be acknowledged, I guess. Yeah. So I do audio processing to start, because I think good audio is, if you can have bad video quality for sure. As long as the audio quality is perfect, I feel like that's just the base of everything that I do. After it's processed, I then export it as like an MP3, shoot it over to Premiere Pro. And then after Premiere Pro, I'll just do a rough edit in that I'll go through all the scenes and make sure they're exactly what I want, and then I'll cut between each individual person. Typically, like if I'm speaking right now, it would cut to me, and I would cut to like the three of us if we were all sort of laughing to something together. And then in that, you can play a little bit, and you can slice things a little bit. You can rearrange things just slightly. And then I also add a custom picture profile on everybody to make sure that their skin tones are looking correct, to make sure that their lighting's good. I usually bring up like shadows and turn down brights, because brights are like super harsh on skin. So yeah, I could talk about editing stuff all day.
Yeah. No, that's really dope. And I was just thinking, before we get too into it, because like I said, you guys have a podcast, and a lot of people reach out to me about starting a podcast, and I would say we all are at the beginning. We're all trying to figure it out. This is so new. Like, nobody's really ahead of anybody. But you guys started how long ago?
Officially,
did you guys start?
2020, I think. Noah, is that correct? Can you confirm?
Okay.
Yeah, officially 2020, and then we restarted again 2022.
Yeah, we revamped the show this year, so this is sort of new for us,
Yeah,
coming back out. Yeah, just new different content. We wanted to go in a little bit different direction, because we'd both changed as people.
Definitely, since our first episodes.
You could say COVID and COVID and graduating college changes both.
Yeah, becoming an adult. Yeah, and you were saying that.
You said what?
Oh, I said.
What were you saying, Crispin?
You were speaking to people, ask you a lot of questions about starting a podcast, and were you asking like for sort of foundational sort of skills they need to develop to do this thing?
So not even the skills. I just wanted to know, like, what inspired you guys to do a podcast?
I think originally, our purpose has definitely changed. So originally, I'd say that the direction of our show was comedy, and that was just because I think fairly funny people. I guess we like to have a laugh, and then it transitioned into this thing, and I had this vision. I made this whole pitch deck for Noah. And the other member of the podcast at the time, I still consider him part of the podcast, but I made a whole pitch deck and walked them through like a slideshow, and I did like a presentation. I was like, this is the direction that I want this show to go. Because that's just how my brain works, where I need to put things together, and Yeah, I think it was now we're at a place where we really want to help people start or be entrepreneurs for real. To be honest, I think
Mm-hmm.
everybody needs to have. I think it's healthy for people to have maybe not a side hustle, but something that they're passionate about and that can make them money in the future. It's just an amazing tool to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. And it seems like you guys are more intentional about the type of episodes you release. 'Cause I did listen to the first one and then skimmed through a couple of other ones, and it was funny. Like the first one just kind of felt like you guys were just looking for something to talk about, and like your later episodes have been more so like really focused conversation, and that's dope.
Yeah, we like to
I
dive deep,
think
man.
probably around episode, yeah, I want to say around probably the second or third episode, we kind of made the full-time switch to health and wellness because we had both almost dove into that in our own personal lives, and we were both finding who we were, and who we are at that time, and then we both kind of started talking about it,
Yeah, it
and
was sort of a
then we were like, why don't we just take the podcast in this direction? And so that's kind of how we became a little more focused in it, just
I feel like
talking, communicating.
I don't know if I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like we are so much more our true selves now than we were in the last series that we did. I feel more like myself. I don't know. It's an
I
amazing
definitely have
feeling.
to agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable. I'm more comfortable in the person that I am and who I'm presenting myself to be, because I'm being who I am. Sorry, that was kind of rhythmic, a little weird. But,
No, it's fine.
yeah, I definitely feel more comfortable in my body and just presenting myself. I don't care as much about the way I do my hair, but I'm happy if I'm going out.
Yeah.
Just being ragged. I don't really care.
Yeah. Do you guys have challenges in being vulnerable on your show? Like, do you ever feel like you have to censor yourself
Yeah.
or, not be fully
Yeah,
open?
definitely. I feel like I have to censor myself in that, I do have a full-time job. I want to be perceived as vaguely as a professional in a general sense. So I do not talk about certain topics sometimes, but that's only because of the life that I choose to lead and the profession that I've chosen. And, that's what I want to put out into the world. And I think whether we try really hard to be open on the podcast though. Like we have a whole mental health section. It's the last like 10-15 minutes of our show. Mike did it with us. You guys should definitely check it out. It's very good. But yeah, I definitely try to be open, but I try to be open about like my mental state as opposed to just saying whatever I want whenever I want, because I don't think that's really productive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I have to bottle it up
Right.
and present it in a nice way, digestible and everything. So
Yeah, I'd say I'm more open with my feelings, or I mean, not my feelings. I'm more open with my thoughts compared to like deep down personal issues. Even though those get brought up sometimes, but you don't really want to bring up a whole bunch of family trauma or
yeah,
things like that all the time.
yeah, like my mom
But
listens to this, man. I can't just.
I'm open and honest. Yeah. I'm open and honest with my thoughts, but generally that's the only thing that I try to
time
hide.
and place,
But
I guess. Do you wait, Mike? Do you feel like
Yeah.
you're allowed to be completely open all the time?
I think I choose not to be. I mean, I share a lot on the show, but there are some things that may be too raw to share in this space. Like maybe there's some work that needs to be done to bring it back to this space. Does that make sense?
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like if it's something that I'm like really experiencing and it may just be, too much to experience here in the podcast, I may have to do some work and then bring back, the review of my lesson. Like, hey, this is what I was experiencing. This is what I did and how I got through it. But I've had moments where I've tried to record an episode and it just be too much and it'll almost like send me into not wanting to record for weeks.
Yeah. I mean, wow, that's like, I think that's why you're so good at your job, Mike, that being podcasting, because I feel like you have a natural inclination toward distilling down life experience and making it into something that, is actionable for you and for others, which is why, why I enjoy listening to your show, to be honest, because I feel like it's not just honesty. It feels like researched honesty, to be honest. It feels like you did
Yeah.
feels like you did some legwork, and then you're coming back to tell us the good stuff.
I appreciate that. Where do you guys pull your topics from? Like, how are you guys finding topics? Are you just showing up and freestyling, or do you have something in mind before?
I'd say it's a lot of us being nerds, and we find stuff to nerd out on. So I guess we did an episode on Atomic Habits, which is a great book. It's just about the power of the changes you can make in your everyday life, and those small changes build up over time. That's the premises of the book. But we did a whole episode on it just because him and I were particularly interested in, I guess, productivity in a sense. And then also it sort of leads to a better life if you are productive now and feel good at what you're doing. So I guess our research process is we get super interested in something. We text each other all the time, and then we're like, oh, this would be a great podcast episode, and then we go from there. And then I typically lay out like just something to talk about, just a quick list of the topics we're going to cover, maybe like a key point or two that I really want to drive home to the audience. And that's about like the preparation we do. But if it's for an interview like you, Mike, we're definitely we're scraping, the depths of the Instagram tags. We're, looking you up on Facebook. It's seeing
going through all the socials, everything we can find, baby.
Yeah, because we want to ask good questions. Like, we want to be good at this. So
we trying to catch, beginnings and ends of all your episodes that you put out, trying to catch little points to bring up here and there.
Yeah.
Little talking points.
That's really dope. I somewhat do the same. Sometimes I freestyle. Sometimes I do a little research. I think because I've been doing this for a while, I've kind of gotten to a place with like, okay, this is because the show is formatted more like a conversation than it is an interview. So, I have a couple of questions in mind, and then I just kind of let the conversation flow and let it drive from there. But also try to get those like, okay, if it slows up here, where do we go from there? If it slows up or whatever it is, just to keep the flow of the conversation going. But I'll be honest, I don't do a whole lot of research.
Really. See, Mike, I think if you gave yourself just a little outline, just a little one.
You're absolutely right. And you know what? The most recent outline that I've done is show structure. Because like I said, these are things that I never thought about. I just naturally just did them. But looking at like, okay, intro to show, how are you doing? Then the meat of the episode, and then the ask me a question segment, and then James's meditation is kind of somewhere just in between there, and then a closeout, and just having that structure mentally, because I wrote it down on paper so I can have it, but just having that structure is like, okay, this is pretty cool. And like I said, going back and listening to some of your episodes, I'm starting to, because it makes it more intentional about what you want to talk about. It makes it more clear where the show is going. because I've definitely had some episodes where it's like, all right, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, this shit is not really going anywhere, or that could be in my mind because I didn't prepare for it. I could feel
I
like that.
think I
But
think the outliner maybe
we've been there all too often.
yeah.
Especially in our earlier episodes, we would definitely dive down the rabbit hole. So we've been there too.
Yeah, but I
yeah,
think, Mike, one, very nice of you to credit us for you starting to do your own research and stuff. I think that's, thank you so much. That meant a lot, because we do research a decent amount for all of our episodes now. So, but second thing, I think that you, Mike, if you took that sort of small little formula, that little recipe for success, I think if you took that and you did it every single episode, or maybe every once in a while you have that, I think that you
yeah,
would knock it out of the park, because you're already an interesting
I
guy.
appreciate that.
I think that just having that little bit of spice there, it doesn't have to be the whole show, just a piece of something.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I think I've started to get in the flow of doing it because, like I said, now that I'm leaving my job, I'm gonna have the time. In my mind, there was something telling me, "Oh, you don't have the
Mm-hmm.
time to do this." So now, making the time while I have this is like, okay, once this time is gone, you can start investing it in doing research, doing the marketing, and I mean, like, the promo, the social media shit, and all that stuff, the video editing.
Oh my
You know,
gosh, video editing. That's
so
what they
yeah.
see. That's what they don't tell you about, is that you're gonna have to go out and buy you an 8 terabyte, hard drive, get you all of that, because you know how much like footage is. I mean, these are hundreds of gigabytes, so you might have to go out, get a
Yeah.
new computer, get that new MacBook. Get but it's an investment. It's an investment in yourself. So that's the way that I view it, at least.
What would you say is a so I'm gonna ask y'all two questions. Oh, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say or ask, what are you most excited about with the podcasting going full time? What are one of the challenges that you see coming that you're really excited about overtaking?
So one of the challenges I see, and it could be, it could not be, but I think finances, bringing in income, because I have made very little money off of this, except
Mm-hmm.
recently I definitely did some stuff, but just the consistency of income is a challenge, but also the consistency of income is an excitement as
Yeah.
well. To really be able to write my own check and get it in the way that I want to. You know what I mean? Like I say, I want to do podcasting and I want to be paid for podcasting. I want to be paid for doing music. So creating that, and it's funny, I've never really been a business person. I've always been super tapped into the creative, but lately I've been finding myself really focused, and manifestation. Again, what you put out there, you will get. And I said at the beginning of this year, I wanted to be a better businessman. And life has been throwing me in situations to become that. And, I have 3 people that want to work with me right now on just the marketing side of things, the business side of things, the administrative side of things. And like now I'm having to step into that leadership role and looking at, okay, what am I looking for from these people? Because yeah, you could just take somebody on to work with you, but what is it that I directly need from this person? And I'm clear on that. And it's just showing me like, oh, okay, you're ready for this. And creating in those ways is something I'm excited about, like not working alone anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting to have a team working with you too, and you kind of get to be you're. I'd say starting a podcast is like being the director of a band, except you're playing all the parts in every single key. And it's challenging sometimes, but then that in and of itself is the fun in it. That's where I find the fun is I have an
Yeah.
opportunity to go out there and really really make something of myself and make content that people like and give good advice, be a good person,
Yeah.
project positivity, you know, give myself to the world is really just an amazing opportunity to have as an individual. And I hope more people take advantage of it,
Yeah.
like you are, especially. And it's awesome to see you come
M-
into that.
Me too, man. Like I really want to normalize it, and I'm gonna ask y'all about your setup because that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what's the basic
Mm,
setup of create? Because, like I said, people always reach out about starting a podcast, and to me, because I've done it so raw, like you can do it on your phone.
yes.
You know, the audio may not be the best, but if you just have to start somewhere, just to, because this has always been my thing. Fear has always stopped me from doing things. So if I do something once, no matter how it comes out, that kind of sets the base of like, okay, this is where we're at today. It can't get any worse than
Okay.
this. It can only go up from here. So if I record on my phone, then I get a USB mic, then I get another mic, and then I'm leveling up as I'm leveling up. But I always tell people don't let the thought of what you think you need stop you from doing this. Cause this is, man, this is so easy, you
Yeah,
know?
I agree. So I guess you're going back to your original question when you were asking, like, what is the base setup? I guess I would agree in that you can record. Don't let the audio equipment get in the way of you recording and putting out content, because the moment that you start doing that, you're going to get better at it. And over time, you're going to acquire these skills to help you get better at it. So I'd say yes, that's definitely true. But I could also save you a little bit money and just like go get you a Shure SM7B if you just want to skip like all those levels, like, or buy a professional camera or get a MacBook Pro and just skip all of these steps. If you really want to fast track it, like if this is something you're super interested in doing, put the money into it. I you know the rest will solve itself. But I I really think that you are right in that good content doesn't, or good equipment doesn't mean good content. But there is a level I think that the general public is used to in terms of production value. And if you aren't meeting those standards, there's no way you're going to capture a larger audience than you want right now. Is how do you think about
No,
that,
you
Mike?
are
I,
absolutely
You
right.
think that's true?
Uh, I agree with you, and I also agree with you in the sense of like the more you do something, the better you'll get. You know, the first time I played basketball, my jump shot wasn't the best. You know, my crossover wasn't the best. But what if I let that stop me from playing basketball? You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah.
everybody starts out, you know, I don't want to say trash, but everybody starts out bad in the beginning, and as you continue to do it, as you're just consistent, you're going to get better, and you're going to want to push yourself. Like, I think something that podcasting taught me, cuz I started out when I moved to LA, I moved here for music, and there was always this comparison to someone else, you know, whoever the hot producer was at the time. Like, my stuff doesn't sound like that, or my stuff isn't this, it isn't that. But with podcasting, wasn't many people doing it. So I've had to just really challenge myself. Like, okay, I like how this sounds, but I want it to sound better. I like this. I want to add music here. I want to take this out. I want to do this. And it's just been a learning on the go with this for me. I like
Mm.
the mic you mentioned, the SM7B, just got one maybe a month or two ago.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 5 years. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I agree with you. And it was one of those things like, I want my audio to sound better. I don't want to have to do as much mixing on the
Mm-hmm.
audio. Boom.
Yeah.
But that took me doing it to learn that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I definitely understand that. I
Mm.
think, yeah, there are a lot of workarounds, I guess, for bad equipment, but I'd say it's just easier to get the good equipment and save yourself a lot of
It
time
is.
in post, because time in post is just, it's the worst. But it's part of
Yeah.
it. So you might as well invest in good audio, make sure everything sounds good. Your camera is decent enough. You have a good computer, and it'll save yourself so much pain. At least that's how I see it. Because I used to edit on a terrible computer, and it was just, my gosh, awful.
And I agree with you, because it's like, if this is what you really want to do, then you should invest in yourself. You know, you're not just buying a computer just to buy a computer. Like, you're buying a computer to work. It's a
Mm-hmm.
workstation, And when you do stuff like that, that says that you believe in yourself, So that's dope to hear that you have, like, you really believe that you're going to do something with this.
Oh yeah. I mean, when we going back to the vision that like I know that I proposed, and that Noah and I like really worked on really closely together. We want it to get to a certain point. I guess I can reveal it. I guess I'll call my shot like you called your shot on my show. We want it to be a TV show. We want to be on air as a TV show. Maybe not network, because I think network television is dying, but I want to be, like a mainstay in people's homes. And that's where I see, that's where my goal is set. I would never sell myself short of an amazing opportunity. And that's the opportunity that I think, if I do the right things, if I develop the right skills, if I put out good episodes, and as long as I know they're good, I'm so happy just doing that. And if it takes off, I'm kind of just like waiting for it to, like I'm just kind of waiting for, the day where I wake up and our Instagrams at like 100K. Like that's what I believe. And live stream, that's what I'm waiting for, like live streams. And I'm working toward all of this, like subconsciously. And Noah and I are like thinking about like building a business, as the podcast is one segment of that business, where it essentially is just a sales funnel into our own interests. Like I want Noah to be able to be gaining clients from our show in personal training. Like I want him to be able to do that. And I think that's just an amazing platform to have. And you're building out a social media presence as well. So you're building a business. And that's the way that I look at it, at least. And that's
Yeah.
what I want to get to. Like I want to be late night. I want to be on late night. I want to be late night. Like I want to be Jimmy Fallon. Like these are like, I don't know. I just feel like people sometimes set their goals really, really low just because they're scared of failing. And maybe I'll look back on this exact moment 25 years from now, 30 years from now, and be like, I didn't really hit it. At least I tried. At least I tried.
Yeah.
Like I'm more proud of I'd be more proud of myself for trying than failing and not trying at all. Like that's just the way that I think about it. How are you thinking about that, Noah? And I want to hear from Mike as well on that too.
Yeah, no, Crispin, we've talked about this a lot, and we're totally aligned. There's levels to this shit, to put it lightly.
There really is.
We want to do a lot of different things. My grand scheme is the gym to clients. I just want a global brand of fitness. I think that would be so sick. So that's where I want to take us, and our podcast is a great avenue to just get people to know who I am and why they should trust me as a person in the fitness industry as well. But I just to go back to y'all's earlier talking points, the more money you invest into something, it's been proven that you also start to invest more time. So you start investing more money, investing more time, your product that you're putting out is going to get better.
Yeah.
Just the most important factor is time for me. That's something that I really clicked for me as of the past few months. Just give yourself time to learn and grow. Just don't rush things.
Yeah.
Everybody wants results right now, but it's not going to happen. Just wait and look back in 3 months and see where you were. Compare yourself. There's going to be growth, and there's going to be movement if you've been trying for that.
It's James Woods, aka that yoga dude with Feel Free to Feel Free. Moving forward, growing, changing, leaving things behind requires me to breathe, relax, focus, understand where I'm at, where I want to go, and not need to know how I'm going to get there, but just taking one breath at a time, breathing in and breathing out. Relaxing my body and my shoulders as I breathe in and breathe out. Gently inhaling and a long, slow exhale. Allow yourself to move through the changes with one breath at a time. To feel free, to feel free. Peace.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to know how you feel about that too, Mike. Like, do you see, where is your goal set? Where do you think you are taking your show? What do you see it as in terms of your business itself?
Man, I see my show, and it's funny you asked me this question because I thought about this recently, and in the same way as you, like I've always wanted to like just take this either to radio or TV, but with my overall brand, man, I see myself like just helping the world heal themselves through art. And that's not just with podcasting, but with music, with books, with everything I'm doing, whatever I decide to do. If it's design a chair, you know what I'm saying? Um, because I've always been into so many different things, and people have told me that multitasking is not a real thing, but I've seen Pharrell do it. I've seen Kanye do it. And those are the people that I look up to. And when I see them like being creative and bringing themselves into every space, it's inspiring. So I know that what I get from them, and I'm sure they're intentional about what they're doing, I want to do with everything that I'm doing. And like I said, I just want to help people like just become self-aware and also heal whatever it is that they got going on in their lives.
Yeah,
Um,
just
yeah, so just being disruptive, like, and it's funny, that's been my goal all throughout my life, is to just be disruptive in whatever the fuck I'm doing.
yeah.
And I want to financially support myself off of my own creativity.
Those two boxes, large. Okay. Got change the world, make money. Yeah, just love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy because going through school, I always thought 9 to 5 was the safe and best option for me. But going through and being in real life, having a 9 to 5,
There's no safety.
it really sucks. That they don't prepare you to go out and be your own boss, so you have to prepare yourself for it. And it's a bit challenging and scary, and that's why I think a lot of people stay in the 9 to 5. But you're smart enough and you're more than capable. If you challenge yourself, you can be creative and start your own business, start a podcast, do a bunch of different things and make money, but you've got to devote yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
I think it's really about cultivating. I think life is about skills money's about skills. And if you have a certain skill set, there's automatic or have a really special skill set, you're automatically going to be valuable to the marketplace. And I hate to put it in those like weird business terms. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but but
It's all
that's
good.
but genuinely that's how I feel. Like at least that's how
Corporate
my brain
Crispin
works,
coming
where
out.
I see it as okay, if I have this skill set and I'm good at it, like genuinely great at it, whether it be being an entertaining person or it doesn't have to be like hard skills like editing or something. But if I have this skill set and I rise to the top by being better than like just being better, like pushing myself harder, then I don't see how I can fail. And I I've actually been saying that a little bit too much. I don't see how I can lose, but that's kind of what I look for in life is I don't see how I can lose this one. Like if I do this, how do I lose? And those are the scenarios that I like to set myself up on because that means that I am fully confident in achieving that goal, which I think is super, super awesome. I don't know how you feel about that, Mike, in terms of like goal setting and all that.
No, I feel you, and it's funny. I've been telling myself even more now. Like, you wrote it out. You see it right here. You see how to get there. Why would you fail? Why would you think that you would fail with a plan that is written right in front of you? And it feels like every time I've taken a jump into something, I've been successful in it. And that feels good. And it's almost like that reminder to keep reminding me anytime I'm doing something that's new, which is, a challenge is a challenge no matter what it is. I reference that, like, okay, you've gotten through everything that you've tried thus far. Just fucking do it.
I keep a set of I keep a set of notes that are essentially reminders to myself on how I can achieve the things that I want in my life. It's titled "How to Be Good at Life" in my notes app, and I add to it whenever I see things that I think are helpful to me, or when I notice something, when I have like a revelation, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And then you ever have some of those moments where you put something together and you think of a really good idea and you're like, oh, I've got it. Those are those moments. And I have a couple of those moments in life every once in a while. And I have those moments of clarity and I have to write them down because I need to remember that. And I just love reviewing those and being like, okay, you figured this piece out. Let's go more, because life is about, I don't know. I feel like life, you can have a lot of fun with it if you just make it interesting. And that's kind of a way to gamify it, I guess.
Yeah, that's dope. That's really dope. What advice would you guys give to somebody that's starting out podcasting?
Find your niche.
Find your niche.
That's the biggest advice: is find something you just really love and drill on that topic. Find ways to talk about it in different ways. There's you can drill into little topics, like you can get deeper and deeper into things. So find your niche, stick to it, and just grow your audience.
I think
promote yourself.
Yeah, no, I would echo what Noah's saying. Find your niche. After you find your niche, then you can worry about all the technical stuff that you have to take care of. But number one, what is the show going to be about? Make it very clear. It just helped me or Noah and I to write it out and to like lay out a roadmap and a direction for it. But it starts with figuring out your niche, figure out maybe what's working and what's not in terms of like social media strategy. That might be a little like 2 steps down the line, but find your niche, figure out what you want to talk about. And then really, I think the second part of it is researching that niche in and of itself and figure out, okay, these are the things that people care about on Google. These are the things that people care about on YouTube. These are the things that people care about on Instagram, and figure out what is this audience, this target audience that you have? What are their questions? What do they need? And try and be that sort of resource for them and address those needs really directly. So that's like, if you're starting a podcast from ground zero, find your niche and then do research. That'll give you so much of a head start on everybody else that's just starting up. Well, yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, that's the blueprint,
I'd probably
baby.
say
That's it.
It is. I agree with everything you guys said. Something I would probably add to that is, in the beginning, just not worrying about the numbers, just allowing it to be what it's gonna be. Don't judge yourself if you get 2-3 listens. Shit, that's 2 or 3 more listens than you had before.
It's not zero.
Appreciate all of them.
Yeah.
don't be too hard on yourself, and just appreciate the love that you do get. So just try not to worry about the numbers. Exactly, Mike. Like,
Yeah.
gotta echo that as loud as I can.
Yeah, I would take the numbers that I really look at in terms of how I think of like our sales funnel working overall is just the number of clicks on our link tree. That's it. Because all that I want is for them to be interested.
Yeah.
And if they're interested the first time, they're going to be interested more. So that's the metric of like how I gauge the job that I'm doing overall. And then if that converts to listens, it converts to listens. If that converts to something else, then it converts to something else. If we get a follow, if we get somebody interested in Noah's TikTok, if somebody goes and gives Noah's TikTok a follow because of the social media that we did on Instagram for our podcast, great. If it's vice versa, awesome. If it's if they're listening to the podcast, if it's one more play, amazing. You know, that's ideal state. They do all of those things. But that's the number that I try and monitor, because that's the most important one in my head, because that's how I know my funnel is at least working, right? Like that's how I know like people are at least interested in something that I'm doing. So just that one click it's in and of itself is a tell that like, all right, got him. It's working.
That's what's up. Now
no, you're kind of dark.
We are going to go through a listener question.
Yeah. Sorry.
Turn your phone light on.
Yeah,
what is this man doing? Sorry, I hadn't seen his camera until now. He looked menacing. I got scared when your camera came on. Dude, you gotta.
On mine it says camera is
same.
disabled.
And then he flashed into mine. That's funny. Yeah, like look at us. Look at us, Noah. I know you're moving. We shouldn't judge him too hard. I'm probably being a little mean, but he's my friend. I get to make fun of him. We're friends in real life, by the way, fellow ladies and gentlemen. So this is cool. But it's just like Mike and I have we have like very nice backgrounds, and it's just Noah like standing there like a ghost. The Grim Reaper just
can't even see me. Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I packed up my lamp so I don't have it out.
So, that's all good.
That's so funny.
I'm struggling around here.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Sorry. Sorry about that. He just flashed into my frame. What were we talking? You want to just keep making fun of him?
It's all good.
It's okay. He can outlift us. So that's the thing that I keep.
Right.
That's How good does that feel to just have that trump card, Noah, that you can just pull that out and be like, at least I'm bigger than everyone, or I have a 6-pack. That's gotta feel good.
You know, honestly, I don't think about it, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I do like looking at myself in the mirror. So I can say that.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
That's funny.
Sorry, we were talking about podcasting, but I feel like this part is really funny. So,
and this is a part of it as well. Like, you know, I know usually for me, a lot of the conversation takes place before starting the podcast, just to get the guests comfortable. We're just talking and flowing, and then it kind of jumps in. But I save a lot of that stuff as well to give to people that are interested in it, like the what is it called? Patreon. I don't even know what it's called, but the Patreon listeners. It's like, here's this extended episode with this extended conversation where we're just shooting the shit, but also giving some
I feel like we've dropped some gems. Some I feel like I've given it. I feel like I've given a little bit of the sauce away. Like we can.
Of course, no. You guys pull back the curtain. Like I really enjoy doing these type of episodes where it's like, you know, this is what we're doing. You know, because somebody may see what you're doing and maybe like, wow, like how can I do that? And you just gave all the game of how it happens. I try to do that often.
What editing software do you use, Mike? Like in terms of like audio, or do you not? Since you have a Shure SM7B guy now,
I use Logic.
Oh, Logic Pro X. Okay, cool. Oh, is that what you produce in too?
Because I use Logic for music.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I use Logic and
Nice.
Ableton. Reason a little bit. So I'm kind of all over the place, but Logic is like my go-to for
Yeah.
like mixing and
I'm a
everything
big
like that.
Ableton fan because it's funny enough, I actually wrote my senior thesis on the history of the beat machine, and it was
Oh
because I had
wow,
gotten like,
that's
yeah,
really
yeah,
dope.
yeah, and I went through like the history of it, all through. It started in the Middle East, like pre-Jesus, and then I went through to modern DAWs or DAWs, if you want to call them that. So. And it
Yeah,
was because I had gotten really interested in programming drums and Ableton, and then I got like really good at Ableton, and then now I moved over to Logic, and it's, I don't know, just so much fun. But yeah, that's what I wrote my senior thesis on, was the history of the beat machine. So
that's really dope. Do you make music?
yeah, I do, and I think it's just like, I play guitar, I play mandolin. I don't know if y'all can see there's my electric guitar. There's a regular guitar, and then there's a mandolin. I play the ukulele and the drums. So
Wow.
my family, really, that's just been our thing for a really long time. I started off playing classical guitar when I was like 8.
This man's just a creative.
That's really dope, man. That's really dope. I would love to hear some of your music.
The Logic music, funny enough, is trash, but the Ableton music is fire. Like, I don't know what it is.
Hey, no judgment at all. No
Oh
judgment
no,
on any
I
of it.
can actually like email
And
you a
Mike,
couple like some stuff that I was making. But yeah, sure. Yeah.
Please do.
I need, wait, hold on.
Mike, have you seen this man's Visco too?
Oh,
He's doing it all. Pictures, like video, everything. He's a Renaissance man.
yeah, check out the
all across
That's
the
what's up,
rainbow, the
man.
whole spectrum, all the shit. He got it.
check out the Visco. That's
Like his pictures are so good.
I took
I can't tell you how good the pictures Crispin did for Allie, my girlfriend, for her graduation. Like, I can't tell you how good he did with those. They're amazing.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, her parents were blown away with it. I don't know
really?
if she like expressed that enough. Like, they were like, "Wow, yeah." They were very impressed.
It's making me feel so good. I'm gonna cry.
Well, you put out good stuff. You should.
Thank you. Yeah, so check out my Visco if you're interested in that sort of stuff. Or you check out my Instagram. But yeah, I do take a lot of photos, and they're cool. So, but yeah, I do a lot of street photography and portrait photography, usually combined, which is nice when you're out on the street and ask somebody to take a picture. That makes my day when somebody says yes.
Yeah.
Because, I always offer to send it to them and everything, and I send them the link and all that. But yeah, you can check that out if you're interested. I do portraits and street photography and a couple other things. Videography for I do it for Noah right now, but I want to do a lot more stuff. It's just a matter of me having time because I do work a full-time job. But yeah, I literally love it.
Yeah.
I'm actually probably going to ask my buddy Hunter, who I'm in the wedding for this wedding, so probably not the best time, but I'm probably going to shoot their wedding in or at least the after party and everything. So, yeah, that's going to be super fun, and all that, but it's going to be a little awkward because I can't I'm in the wedding, I can't just walk over. Yeah. Wait, re-say your vows, no, I didn't get it. Yeah.
That's really dope. Yeah, I kind of just look for different creative spaces as well. Like, I'm kind of all over the place with it as well. So that's really dope to hear.
Thank you. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Wait, what other stuff are you into, Mike? I'm kind of interested. Do you make art? I feel like you paint. Do you paint? Knew it.
I do paint. Do a little bit of photography here and there. I used to have a film camera and just take pictures.
What kind of film camera did you have?
A little bit of video stuff.
What kind of film camera did you have?
I forgot what it was, but it was like the 35 millimeter.
So expensive now.
You know what? I found this one at a set.
I was talking about the film.
For like $40.
That film is expensive.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the film. Yeah, it is. It is. But I enjoy how the pictures look when you use film. Yeah, they just feel warmer than a cell phone.
Definitely. I would agree. But yeah, you said you do film photography, you do some videography, you make music, you teach the children, you teach
Paint,
the future.
teach,
That's cool. You
write,
write, yeah.
do a little bit of everything. I'm all over the place, but I enjoy being all over the place because I have just multiple outlets to express
Yeah.
myself.
That's the way that I see it too. And one thing that I'm really trying to do now is hone my craft in terms of like editing video. I want to get really, really good at editing video because I think that's a culmination of all of these separate individual skills that I've, developed, like audio, then video, and then shooting, on, cameras and everything. I feel like just putting it all together, I think I would be good at that, or at least the editing part of it. I want to get good at the editing part of it, but it's just so hard. Or not that hard, but challenging.
Yeah. You got it, man. You got it.
Thank you for the. What is there anything that you're trying to learn right now, Mike?
I'm taking voguing classes right now.
Okay.
That's like
Wait,
new.
what kind of classes?
Vogue, like the dance.
Okay.
Yeah, just
I
wanted
don't
to feel
think I've
something
ever heard of
different.
that. What do you do? What's Vogue dancing? Explain it to me.
So it's like from what I get from it, it's like a expression through dance. If you've ever seen the show Pose, or if you've seen the show Legendary, it's more like it's a very popular queer thing, I would say. Everybody does it, but it definitely was popularized in the LGBT community.
Gotcha. So it's like,
And
Okay,
they do
nice.
they have like events
ooh,
around this, like called balls. Yeah.
wait, balls.
And they have different categories. It's really cool. Right.
Is that like on
Oh
purpose,
yeah.
or is it like a ball, or is it like an innuendo?
It's like
Okay,
it's like a ball.
gotcha.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I was like,
No, it's and after I said it, I was like, oh yeah, balls. But yeah, it's like a whole like community within the community, and I just wanted to feel something different, be around something different, and it's been very dope. And like just the people that are there are very accepting and welcoming, and I like that. Sometimes the gay community can be very exclusive, and this is one of those spaces where it's like everybody's welcome.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've never been a good dancer. I've always been, I think, a little too uptight with it. That's why I'm good at bodybuilding, I think, because it's just rigid movements. I don't have to be fluid or anything like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
strong man lift big weight.
Exactly. Moving heavy circles.
Moving
That's
heavy
all I'm good
circles.
for.
That's a good one.
That's funny.
There's some art in it. There's some art in bodybuilding. Don't short yourself on that, Noah.
All right, posing. That there is definitely some art in posing.
Definitely.
I'll say that, because some people are just I can't even describe it.
Get a vacuum in. You know what I'm saying? Where they suck their stomach in and all that. That's wild.
Vacuums are just literally crazy. I'm trying to learn how to do a good one right now. And seeing someone like they turn to the side and it's almost paper thin. It's like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's different, built different, but yeah. And then holding a pose for 15 seconds, I can't tell you how just hard that is. Like physically, I've been practicing my posing, and holding a pose for 30 seconds, just full flex, like
yeah.
Yeah, I've gained a lot of respect for the people that do it. So it's tough. There's some art to it. I'd say the posing.
There's a lot of different, like, I guess there's a lot of different things going on in this episode. Really, we have like very different types of people, I feel like, or not different, very different, but like very different, like creatively, I guess, energy. So
Yeah. That's a
I
good
like
thing
it.
though, because I think if we were all doing the same thing, it might not be as interesting.
Yeah, we just kind of
It
share.
wouldn't set us apart.
Right.
Agree. I always talk about that with Noah or with other people when they ask like how Noah and I have a good chemistry. It's that we sort of fill in each other's gaps, mentally and like not physically, not like but I just I just feel like everything that I don't have, I feel like Noah has that on his end, and like we like fill in each other's gaps very well, like professionally and just like as friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say when I did the episode with you guys, that was something I noticed, that you both like complimented each other in the way that the show flows. It's like, when you have something, he kind of feeds off that, or if he has something, you feed off of that, and it's a really nice flow. I have a question for you guys from a listener. And this is our segment called Ask Me a Question. And this person wants to start a podcast. So his name is Jorge. His name is Jorge. And he said, I have a podcast. I've been sleeping on it, going back and forth with the co-host, then not having a co-host. And I'm scared and insecure. I don't know what to do, because he says his co-host was supposed to do it with him, and then this person stopped showing up or just stopped talking about it. And he asked, do I do it alone? What is the first episode like? Who am I supposed to talk to? I'm really nervous about this.
That's a good question. For me, I'd say that's now just a guest. Those episodes you recorded with him, he's just a guest on the podcast. You're going in this after it alone for now. I'd record an episode by yourself. Maybe do a few test episodes just to get comfortable, and then release one of those episodes, and then start putting out the other ones with a friend. If he wants to come back and join, I'd welcome him back. Always have the pod open for other people, especially if you want them there. Now, if you don't want him there, if you think he's going to be a disruption and in the long term just going to cause more problems, that's maybe a discussion to have. Maybe tell him, hey, I think I might go in this alone for now. I really appreciate your help when you did come on.
Yeah.
That's probably where I'd take it. But if he doesn't want to do it anymore, that's a guest, man. Take the episode and run with it.
My take on this is, wow, sounds like you need to have guests on your show. So like I would just spin it into like more of a positive thing there, where this person has left me out to dry. Take it as an opportunity to have more people in your life accept new people onto your show, become comfortable at interviewing and being around other sorts of energy and people, because that's what's going to make you a better podcaster. And like, I'm not sure what his goal is with this in terms of podcasting, but I do know that this is a unique opportunity for you to really develop personally and professionally as a podcaster and as a person. And, I think it's going to make some great episodes if you go into it the right way, like Noah was saying, where record a couple episodes by yourself, see how it goes. If it doesn't feel right, maybe bring on a guest for the next show, and then ease yourself into owning the whole show yourself and owning that whole process. Because I agree, it can definitely be scary if you've never done it before. But if you continue to do it, you will get better at it. It'll become easier. You'll get more natural. So yeah, I say you've got an opportunity on your hands. Go for it, and record that episode. What's the worst that could happen? You don't put it out. All right, no harm, no foul. But at least you have that, and you know that you did it. So, that's a good question though. I mean, because I've definitely been there where I've been nervous about putting myself out there for something. I still get nervous about it. Like right now, I still get nervous about posting my first. I still get nervous about posting my first Instagram reel that I have planned, and I still get nervous about. Well, I'm not sure when is this coming out, Mike?
This will probably be out in 2 weeks.
Okay, whatever the
2
time
weeks.
frame is. Yeah, I'm working right now on my own history series that I want to put out on because I was a history major in college. That's why I did the history of it. Yeah. Anyways, but I've been working on that for a while. I have a couple episodes like stashed up and everything ready to go, but I just need that time, and I'm still nervous about that. Like that, it gives me anxiety. I know it's good though. I know that it's the information I want to be putting out into the world. These are the cool things that I think are interesting. I just want them to be done well, and it's just going to take some time. And I don't know. I say go for it though. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I would agree with that. And I would say for the first episode, I would probably just talk about this experience, you know, doing it by myself and what does that look like, and kind of just let the show drive from there if it were me. But yeah, I would say go for it as well. Like, don't be afraid to do it by yourself. You can always ask other people. You don't have to necessarily have a co-host. I did, but also like I understand having that extra person to bounce it off of. And again, like we said earlier, figure it out as you go. Try it by yourself, see how it feels. Add somebody else in the mix, see how it feels, and just kind of figure it out from
Yeah.
there.
Another thing I'd say is you're probably more capable than you think you are. You're probably better than you think you are. And also, you're judging yourself a lot harder than the audience ever will. So if you put out something bad, the audience isn't going to be like, this guy is a terrible person. They'll just say, oh, I'll stop watching this video. Okay. go go ahead, move on with your day, and just put it out. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I kind of wanted to hear
That's what's
from Noah
up.
on this because I know that he was kind of nervous initially about putting out his fitness content because, believe it or not, Noah is a pretty humble guy. Like he really is. Like in real life, like a super humble dude. So he was, even before he started, he was talking to me about like I don't know, like do I make like this TikTok? Do I do this? So it's stressful. And this is for Noah, who has an amazing body and is like, I don't know. So it gets to all of us,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for saying that, Crispin. It's you have to realize your own self-worth is a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Realize your value, the things you do have to offer. Once you're able to get past that part, and realizing what Crispin was talking about, the imperfections that you see aren't the imperfections other people see. So just don't judge yourself too harshly. Just be fun with it. It's just the moment you let go all of that anger towards yourself that it's not enough good enough product to put out, and you start viewing it as, man, this was fun. I might as well just throw this out there and start having fun with the product you're producing. For me, it was a lot less stressful, and it allowed me to start my fitness content because I stopped worrying about what people were going to say, and I just kind of I don't even know. I just let the videos go out and watch the views come in. It is the easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
That's real. I appreciate that. I have 2 more questions for you guys. The first one is, what is one piece of advice that you would share with your younger self?
Wow. Give me a second. I want to give you a good answer, Mike. This show deserves this.
I appreciate that.
Tell my younger self. No, if you
let me think
hold
for a
on,
second
Mike.
too.
I think you sound like you
Yeah.
have it figured out. Why don't you go first?
Piece of advice that I would give myself right now, um, to just be present, to enjoy it all, to feel it all, and just see clarity in it all as well.
I got you.
That would probably be the advice I need right now.
Yeah. I guess the advice that I would give myself is to, one, read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius as fast as possible. If I would have read that when I was 10 years old, I think that I, might already be a millionaire, but we're working there. I think it's maybe another thing that I would add to that second piece, because one Marcus Aurelius's Meditations teaches you about being essentially a good human being and finding purpose and the reason why he's here. And this is a guy that's having an existential crisis, and he's Caesar. He's in charge of the Roman Empire. Like it's an amazing amount of stress. So, and it's amazing to hear those words. They echo into today's reality. And I think one of the core things that he gets to is that you can only, I think I'd really echo that you can only control a very small amount of things that happen in your life. And recognizing that you don't have control over everything means that you don't need to put your energy into those things that you think are affecting you negatively. Like if I have a bad experience with someone at work, or I mess up at work, that does not define me as a person. Only I can define me. And that bad thing is only bad because I and society have deemed it so. In and of itself, it is not bad. It is not good. It just is. And I guess it's maybe a little robotic of a way to look about it, but I think you can approach things with emotion after you've acknowledged that this thing that is happening to you is not your fault. Oftentimes you have no control over it, and it is neither good nor bad. It is what it is. It just is. Like people will be like, "Oh, that guy drives a nasty car or a bad car because the hood is busted up or something." Is it bad, or is that what I have been taught through society is bad? That's what I've deemed as bad, and that's what society deems as bad. Because in another country, perhaps that's a Mercedes Benz. Like that. So it's all about perspective. And once we acknowledge that we have this perspective, which, goes back to what I was saying with meditations, this guy's looking for perspective. And that's what I think is like a really powerful message, is to like figure out like what is the true reality, and then acknowledge that you don't have any power over what that reality is, and just accepting it. So, no, I don't know what yours was, but that'd probably be mine.
Mine's pretty similar to yours. For me, you've got to reevaluate your values. I just constantly and consistently look back on what you value in your life, how you value what you do, how you're finding value in yourself, and where you're drawing your value from. I think in my past, I was drawing my value from others' validation rather than products I was producing or things I was putting out, such as work. So, find your value, find your morals, and reevaluate those constantly, because it's a changing world. You're a changing person. It's important that you have your morals and they stay consistent and same, but sometimes you need to change as a person.
Yeah, sometimes I'd say like
you don't always know best.
To dovetail off of that, I feel like you have to be ready for change at every single moment, because we are human beings, and we have the power to change who we are and what we believe in the moment, which I think is something that we often forget. that we are allowed to change our minds on something, and when presented with new information, we can completely alter the way that we think about the world or the way that we think about one's particular issue. Because, I don't want to get into like all of American politics and everything, but I just feel like that is an integral part of the society that we've built, is us being separate people, and each of us we're so far away from each other. And I feel like if we were just more accepting of others, we would get a lot more done, and we would have a better society, for it.
Yeah.
That's hard though.
Man, I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the kids of the future get to see it though.
I think so.
That's what I hope. I mean, I would love to see it in my lifetime, but I hope they get to see it.
Yeah.
I think we're headed in the right direction.
What is a reminder?
I think we're headed in the right direction. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think so too. What is a reminder that you guys would like to give to your future selves?
These are good questions, Mike. Also, is it Mike or Michael? Is it birth name Michael or nice
birth name Michael?
Cool.
Yes.
Do people know your middle name, or are you one of those people that doesn't do that?
What's funny? I don't really share my middle name, but it's Leon.
Nice.
But I don't really go by Michael. My mom is probably the only person that
Gotcha.
calls me Michael. Usually for a job interview, I've been called Michael and always say, no, it's Mike.
Gotcha. All right.
And some kind of way, people usually end up calling me my full name. Most people just call me Mike Brown or refer to me as Mike Brown.
The name flows. I like it.
I don't know why. It does.
MLB. Wait. MLB?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, you just watch my brain. Every employer just like watch my brain like just skip a beat. They're like, "What? Is this kid gonna get that it's MLB?" Yeah, it is. What I want to say to my future self, a reminder. I hope it worked out. I guess like I appreciate you having faith in me. I appreciate you believing in yourself, man. I guess I'll talk to myself like I'll watch this video in like 20 years and say it. Hey, Crispin. Hey, man. Really proud of you. It's awesome what you're doing right now. I'm sure you're in an amazing place, and I just wanted to thank you for sacrificing so much to get to where you are today, and you're really the man, and I love you so much, dude. I'll see you later. Sorry. That's just a little message to myself. Hello, future Crispin, when I'm watching this. I gotta set like a mean reminder in my phone, like in my calendar when I wake up, 30 years from now with the iPhone 65 and I am literally 65, and it's just like, hey, check out my The Art of Letting Go episode whenever this comes out. So and I'll say like the timestamp and everything. That's gonna be a nice one. I'm gonna add that on my Google Calendar for like 20 years from now and watch it. So
I'm gonna save the clip.
I'm excited. Keep it up on Spotify forever. Please. And send me the clip. That'd be cool too. Sorry, Noah, you probably go.
For myself, future Noah, I just really hope you haven't become complacent. I hope you're enjoying all the things you've built. I hope you have something that you have built, I hope you're enjoying life like I picture we are right now in my head. Nice little fence, Knox out there, buried in the yard, R.I.P. Don't forget about the homie. We'll have some new dogs by then, but damn.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's experiencing an existential crisis right now.
Sorry, yeah. I've been thinking a lot about the future and like what that's going to be like lately, and I kind of went into the deep dark depths there into my own brain, and I was kind of just using filler words to talk to you guys. Sorry. Don't be complacent. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I hope I've chased after, and I continue to chase after more things, continue to have a happy family, and provide as much as I can for them.
Word.
That's dope. I would probably tell myself, don't rush the process. Enjoy the moment, enjoy all of it, positive and negative, but don't rush. And that's with everything in life. And yeah, man, like you believe this, and that's why we're here today. That's a reminder that I always need. Like, you actually believe that you said that you would do this, and that's why you're doing it. So be proud of that.
Also, hi, future Mike. Good to see you. Hope you're
right. Hopefully we'll be doing this on you guys' TV show.
Oh yeah, Mike. Best believe when we become late night on YouTube or whatever the platform is, you're coming on the show. You're coming on the show.
Whatever the new
platform is, with TikTok 4.0, Vine comes back, whatever it is,
right?
Whatever the dominant platform is in like 15 years, you're gonna see us up there.
Wait, straight up, we might be in the metaverse.
Oh yeah. This might be done virtually.
I might be next to you. I might be next to you.
Sitting you on the couch in the metaverse.
It's
just gonna be us hanging out. There's gonna be a million different sort of like icons, sitting in the stands. I'd imagine we're gonna have fake laughter pumped in.
Yeah, virtual
it's
face
gonna be
to
shot
virtual
like
face,
a 3 camera.
It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be shot like a 3 camera comedy. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it, Mike. It's gonna be an amazing.
Do you think we're gonna have like a regular
dope,
POV, or do you think it's gonna be like third person and we're gonna be out
third person?
Looking down
I don't know. Hopefully, we're doing it in person, and Mike is sitting next to us, an accomplished man, fully just an amazing creative. This guy has produced movies. He's a movie star right now, TikToker, Vine star 2.0. He's got all of these things on his resume. Platinum producer, Pharrell Williams' best friend as well. And
man,
and then we're gonna be there, and we're gonna interview on. Wait, we're gonna watch this clip back. Hi, audience, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm excited for that day, Mike. Welcome to the show.
Me too, man. I'm excited for that also. Man, thank y'all so much for coming on the show. Where can the people find y'all?
Instagram, TikTok, Visco, our Linktree. I'm sure that they can find us on every single podcasting platform. If you want to watch the full show, you can watch us on Spotify. I think that we're also going to send out the full show on. We're going to start posting it on Instagram. It's going to be long, but if you want to watch the full show, I think we're going to put it out there. But if you don't catch us on all of those other platforms and you just want to see Noah and his sweet body, check him out on TikTok. It's what is it? It's Clipper underscore cut. Clipper underscore cut. Check him out there. You can check out his link tree. We'll link to everything else if you just want to check that out. Everything's just gonna go to Noah, and we're just no more streams.
Come look at my body.
That's
please.
It.
Yeah.
That's funny. The podcast social media is The Boys Pod, right?
It is at The Boys Pod.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think it's a 0 for the O.
Yes, 0 for the second O.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
In pod. The Boys Pod was taken. I shot that guy a message, did not respond to me, so I think it's just a dead account. I got to start reporting it so it gets taken down.
Username becomes free.
Yeah, becomes free. How'd that happen? Oh, that's nice.
Funny.
Yeah. That's another piece of free game.
Is the link tree the same also?
The link tree, if you find the Instagram, you can find the link tree. I think it is. I think it's actually The Boys for the link tree, but yeah.
Okay. And when do y'all release new episodes?
Every 2 weeks on Thursdays. So not this Thursday, but the next in real time. It's June 22nd. So next week we will be releasing a show. So yeah, and you can also check out Mike's show with us. We had Mike on our podcast, so you should definitely check him out on us. It's
Yes,
a really good episode. So yeah.
I agree. Noah, you got anything for us?
It was just great to be here. It was great to talk to you guys, kind of just get some energy out. I felt very cooped up today. I just been on the computer and feeling drained lately, so it's been great to talk to you guys, just actually have some human interaction.
Not be dealing with moving
That's
boxes.
what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just clothes and the computer and work emails.
No lamps.
Something to get my mind off that. It's been great.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, just a nice bright
good,
iPhone light in my face.
I'd also like to thank Mike for having us on. Really amazing. Mike, anybody that is looking to work with Mike, if you're watching this right now, definitely work with him. He's awesome, super talented. Check out everything that he does, because this guy, great guy,
easy
overall
to talk
great
to.
guy, easy to talk to, nice dude. So yeah, definitely work with him if you're considering it.
I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate y'all. Like, I really think your show is dope. I'm definitely gonna bring y'all back on, probably to just touch on like a mental health topic or something like that, or just whatever the topic of the week is. But I really just wanted to just share my space with you guys to showcase your podcast and what you do and who you are, because I think y'all are dope, and I know y'all are gonna do really, really big things, man. And I look forward to just thank you for bringing me on a journey with you, and I look forward to seeing where y'all take all of this.
Mike, you're gonna have to come back on our show before we come back on your show, so we'll go one-on-one every single time. So yeah, sounds like a plan.
We may have to try to get an episode with us three and James Woods as well.
Yes. Like a Marvel crossover movie. I'm in.
Oh man.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Actually, our interview with
multiverses colliding.
Yeah. our episode with him hasn't come out yet. Shoot, I might actually drop that one next week.
Yeah.
But it really depends. But hey James, love your show, love your stuff. So
I really enjoyed the one with the guys that do the film stuff.
Dude, they're dope.
It was pretty inspiring.
Dude,
I like
they're
that
dope.
Yeah.
Jared and Santino.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
We done an we done an earlier episode with them as well, in the older podcast, and it's been great.
I really felt
we've
their
talked
energy.
to them,
Bro, those dudes are like super talented.
They get after it.
They're actually beasts.
Dedicated.
If this comes out in June, whenever this comes out, anyways, their new limited series will have dropped by now. So go check them out. Aroy Productions on YouTube. Those dudes super talented.
Okay.
I'm so happy for them, and their new limited series is going to be tight. It's going to be super dope.
That's dope, man. That's really dope.
Shout out Jared and Santino.
Man, thank you.
Shout out Jared and Santino.
Yeah. That's what's up. Man, thank y'all for being on the show. Thank y'all for listening. This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go. Peace. Thank you all for tuning into The Art of Letting Go. If you like what you heard, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Also, leave a review. Let people know what you think. Let me know what you think, because I do read those reviews. Also, if you would like to further support the show, and I appreciate all the support that you all give, listening to the show, sharing it with your people. But if you'd like to further support the show, you can subscribe to us on Patreon, where we have exclusive content. I share some of the other stuff I'm working on. Also, you can buy some merch from theartoflettinggopodcast.com, and please send us your questions. I love to hear from y'all. This is Mike Brown. Peace.